I guess we're approaching the run-in now, the final 12 games of the season. How do you assess kind of where we're at in our first year back in League One?
I'd like to be a little bit closer to the top half, Dan. I know we've been there and thereabouts and fluctuated up and down. There's still 12 games to go, as we've said, and we want to keep climbing and keep moving on. But I think so far so good, or so far okay. You know, I'd like to be in a better situation, better positions, and you know, the games we've won have been fantastic. The games we've lost, we always look and think, can we learn from that? Yeah, of course we can. But we've just got to make sure we keep a level head on it, and we've got to keep producing, keep performing. You know, someone said to me yesterday, there's only so many points from the top and there's only so many points from the bottom, and we're in that little bit of situation where are you going to end up, where are you going to be, and what we want to do is we want to try and aim as high as we possibly can.
I guess in that discussion, obviously the last 3 games, really, I think you can make an argument that we could have won any of them, and if we had won all of them, we'd be in the top 6 right now, and I guess that points out where we're at, not far away, bit of room
so far, not so near, is it? What's that saying? Yeah, well, we're not far away, but the consistency is massive in this league. You know, I remember one manager saying to me that, you know, who's been there and thereabouts and been in the top half quite a bit and been fortunate to miss out, and he said to me, Ryan, he said, you have to be on it 100%. He said, you cannot have 5% off or 10% off. You need to be on it every game, because anyone can beat anyone, and that's been proven from Plymouth, Argyle to Northampton to Wigan to Burton Albion, you know, the top teams, Sunderland's. So what you've got to do, mate, is we've got to make sure our consistency levels are blob on from now till the end of the season to have any chance of just climbing up that table and having a solid finish.
You've obviously experienced, as you said, higher than lows. How do you get how does the team drag itself out of kind of the 3-run losing streak?
Hard work.
Luck.
Hard work. Look, you're in your own luck, don't you, sometimes? Neil Dewsnip says there ain't no luck in football, and then Shuey says there is. So the arguments are great, but I just think, you know, if you're a hard working team and you do the things right and do everything required, 9 times out of 10 you will get results. If you come off that slightly, what we just spoke about, you don't get them. You've got to work your socks off until 90-95 minutes, and that's been proven as well, and not just League 1, League 2 and the Championship. So for us, you know, we've just got to keep going, keep working hard, keep doing the sessions we need to do, keep analysing the opposition, keep analysing and debriefing the games, what have cost us goals, and keep learning. And I think if we keep doing that, you know, you become a good team.
So we've got Ipswich on Saturday, and I know you've got a really great relationship with their new manager, Paul Cook. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Yeah,
well, obviously me and Paul have, you know, I think we've shared moments, great moments, European Cup finals with, you know, me and him and his lad Conor and my lad Alfie, and, you know, been on away journeys with them to watch Liverpool up and down the country and all over the Europe. And, you know, when I become a manager, he was one of my first port of calls, and, you know, I picked his brains and went in and watched Wigan train, and, you know, and I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could, and he's been fantastic for me. You know, he's the older figure and the older head. I think he's probably nearly touching 50 now, I think. Well, he might actually be 50, but for us, you know, me and him, I pick his brains quite a bit. You know, I'm sure he'd pick my brains on 1 or 2 things as well eventually, you know, in this league, because, you know, as he's seen, you know, he's been out the game for a little while now. I'm happy to see him back in, but the relationship and the friendship is very good, and I'll always class him as a friend. But ultimately the two of us are lock and horns. They're lock and horns. He's lock and horns with my team to get 3 points to go and get into the playoffs and stay there or get automatic promotion, and we're lock and horns to go and get 3 points off them. So, you know, it'll be an interesting encounter, but it's what I'm looking forward to, and the respect is massive. It's
a tough place to go, isn't it? But you guys have done pretty well at the bigger clubs this season, putting in some good performances. Paul Cook likes to play a good style of football, which will suit us as well, won't it?
Definitely, yeah. And Paul will want to, you know, stamp his authority. He already has. You know, I know he sat in the stands for the Accrington game, and they were worthy winners. Had a tough journey to Gillingham and lost 3-1, and then he had a good game against Lincoln, 1-1. Shared the points, you know. And they do. He'll have them playing football. He'll have them at it. They won't be we were talking about that 5% less. He'll have them at it 110%. Even though that you can't get that, he'll want them to give more than most. And we're expecting a tough encounter against them, but also we're expecting a good footballing game, because they like to play, and so do we.
I know you've been kind of pretty much hard at work straight after Tuesday night game, running through clips and so on to put things right? What's the mood like in the group?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, they'll be fine. Look, we it's never ever personal. You know, sometimes we'll constructive criticism, and we've done that on Tuesday at the end of the game. We've got a double session today in terms of just less on the feet but more in the brain, and we'll show the players of what they need to be doing and what's expected. They know that anyway. They've had a couple of laps in concentrations, whether that's not staying with your man or not stacking runners, whatever that looks like. But we'll put it right. We've got a fantastic group. There'll always be smiling faces. Training's always done properly and enjoyable, because it's got to be. You don't want to come into work and not being enjoyable. So the mood in the camp will be bright and fresh. And again, you just got to look to the next one, and the next one's Ipswich Town. In
terms of kind of fitness, we spoke a little bit on Tuesday night about fatigue. It's obviously been an incredibly intense season. How are they feeling?
Yeah, they're all right. Yeah, I think Dave and Abs and Elliot have been busy at work in the massage and the recovery for the boys, but they recover themselves well. You know, John will give them some stuff to do, and you know, he'll speak to them on a regular basis of the fluids and the intake and the food. But they're relatively quite good. You know, we don't see anyone going out there today who's looking like an old man and walking around and he can't get round the pitch. With all due respect, we're going out there and lads are fresh, ready to put things right, and that's always good for me as the manager. You know, seeing them going out there wanting to put things right. Most of the time, when you have had bad results like that, the training the next couple of days or the next day is always lively, and that's what we want to do. We want to continue that into Saturday.
We wish you well.
Cheers, thank you.